if you want to learn about data mining, so this course for you. Welcome to our new course. In this course, we are going to learn about data mining, types of data that can be mined, process of data mining, data transformation and transformation techniques. We will also discuss about data mining techniques which used to mine the data. We will also discuss about the application of the data mining in different sectors, challenges faced to implement the data mining, and at the end, we will also talk about the advantages and disadvantages of the data mining. So let's start with the definition of data mining. Data mining is the process that helps in extracting information from a given data set to identify trends, patterns, and useful data. The objective of using data mining is to make data supported decisions from enormous data sets. Data mining work in conjunction with predictive analysis, a branch of statistical science that uses complex algorithms designed to work with a special group of problems. The predictive analysis first identifies patterns in huge amount of data which data mining generalizes for predictions and forecasts. Data mining serves a unique purpose which is to recognize patterns in dataset for a set of problems that belong to a specific domain. We can also define data mining as a technique of investigation patterns of data that belong to particular perspectives. This helps us in categorizing that data into useful information. This useful information is then accumulated and assembled to either be stored in database servers like data warehouses are used in data mining algorithms and analysis to help in decision making. Moreover, it can be used for revenue generations and cost cutting amongst other purposes. Let's discuss about the types of data that can be mined in data mining process. A database is also called a database management system or DBMS. Every DBMS stores data that are related to each other in a way or the other. It also has a set of software programs that are used to manage data and provides easy to access in the organization. These software programs serve a lot of purposes including defining structure for the database, creation of database, making sure that the stored information remains secured and consistent, and managing different types of data access such as shared, distributed, and concurrent. A relational database has tables that have different names, attributes, and can store rows or records of large datasets. Every record stored in a table has a unique key. Entity relationship model is created to provide a representation of a relational database that features entities and the relationship that exists between them. A data warehouse is a single data storage location that collects data from multiple sources and then stores it in the form of a unified plan. When data is stored in a data warehouse, it undergoes cleaning, integration, loading, and refreshing the data. Data stored in a data warehouse is organized in several parts. If you want information on data that was stored 6 or 12 months back, you will get it in the form of a summary. Another form of data that is transactional data. Transactional database stores records that are captured as transactions. These transactions include flight booking, customer purchases, click on a website, and others. Every transaction record has a unique ID. It also lists all those items that made it the transactions. We have a lot of other types of data as well that are known for their structures, semantic meanings, and versatility. They are used in a lot of applications like data streamings, engineering data design, sequential data, graph data, spatial data, multimedia data, and many more data types are used in data mining. Before we discuss about the actual data mining process, first we have to know about the steps that are compulsory in data mining implementation process. First of all, we have to know about the business. Like you need to have a complete understanding of your enterprise objectives, available resources, and current scenarios in alignment with its requirement. What your business or your stakeholders required from you. This would help create a detailed data mining plan that effectively reaches organization goals or achieve the organizational goals. The second step is data quality checks. As you know, you are going to collect data from various sources. It needs to be checked and matched to ensure no bottlenecks in the data integration process. The quality assurance helps spot any underlying anomalies in the data, such as missing data in interpolations, keeping the data in top shape before it undergoes mining. Data cleaning, it is believed that 90% of the time gets taken in this selecting, cleaning, formatting data before mining. You must have to select the data, then you have to clean the data, and you put that data in a proper format. Data cleaning is a process to clean the data by smoothing noisy data and filling the missing values in the database or in your data. For example, if you are collecting the data about customers, like customers' demographic profiles, age data is missing. The data is incomplete and should be filled first. In some cases, there could be data outliers. For instance, age has a value 300. Data could be inconsistent. For instance, name of the customer is different in different tables. Later on in this course, we will also discuss about the data transformation techniques. So these are some data cleaning types and data cleaning process. The next step is modeling. In this phase, different mathematical models are used to determine data patterns. We can select the data models or mathematical models based on the business objectives. Suitable modeling techniques should be selected for the prepared data sets. Create a scenario to test check the quality and validity of the model you are going to select. You have to check that model is fit for your scenario or not. Run the model on the prepared dataset. The dataset you are going to prepare are in the previous steps you have prepared. You must implement that selected model on that prepared dataset. Results should be assessed by all stakeholders to make sure that model can meet data mining objectives. The objectives you have defined in the first step or in the start of the process, you must check either these models fit with your data mining objectives or meeting your data mining objectives. So this is the second last step. Last step is evaluation. You must have to evaluate patterns identified against the business objectives. The results you are going to generate by the data mining model should be evaluated against the business objectives. Gaining business understanding is an iterative process. While understanding new business requirements may be raised because of data mining, like you are going to identify some new objectives or requirements for the business, and at the end you are going to make a decision either go or no go, like you are going to select this model to implement or not. At deployment phase, you ship your data mining discoveries to everyday business operations, like you are going to implement new ways or new processes into your daily life business. The knowledge or information discovered during the data mining process should be made easy to understand for non-technical stakeholders. Like in your organization, every person are not aware about data sciences, statistics, and other mathematical models. So you have to make the resulting information in a way every person in the organization can understand that, even non-technical stakeholders. At the end, you have to deployment plan. You have to design write down a detailed deployment plan for shipping, maintenance, and monitoring of the data mining discoveries. A final project report is created with the lessons learned and key experiences during the project. This helps to improve the organization business policy. So these are the few different steps you have to take in the data mining process. So data transformation in data mining is done for combining unstructured data with structured data to analyze it. Later, it is also important when the data is transferred to a new cloud data warehouse. When the data is homogeneous and well structured, it is easier to analyze and look for patterns. For example, a company has acquired another firm and now has to consolidate all the business data. The smaller company may be using a different database than the parent firm or large organizations. Also, the data in these databases may have unique IDs, keys, and values. All this needs to be formatted so that all the records are similar and can be evaluated. This is why data transformation methods are applied. Let's discuss different data transformation techniques. First of all, we will discuss about data smoothing. Data smoothing is used for removing the noise from a dataset. Noise is referred to as the distorted and meaningless data within a dataset. Smoothing uses algorithms to highlight the spatial features in the data. After removing noise, the process can detect any small changes to the data to detect spatial patterns. Any data modifications or trend can be identified by this model. Data aggregation. Aggregation is the process of collecting data from a variety of sources and storing it in a single format. Here, data is collected, stored, analyzed, and presented in a report or summary format. It helps in gathering more information about a particular data cluster. The method helps in collecting vast amount of data. Basically, this is a crucial step as accuracy and quantity of data is important for proper analysis. Companies collect data about their website visitors. This gives them an idea about customer demographics and behavior matrices. This aggregated data assists them in designing personalized messages, offers, and discounts to promote their products. Discretization. This technique is used for converting continuous data into a set of data intervals. Continuous attributes values are substituted by small interval labels. This makes the data easier to study and analyze. If a continuous attribute is handled by a data mining task, then its discrete values can be replaced by constant quality attributes. This improves the efficiency of the task. This method is also called data reduction mechanism as it transforms a large dataset into a set of categorical data. Discretization also uses decision tree based algorithms to produce short, compact, and accurate results when using discrete values. Generalization. In this process, low-level data attributes are transformed into high-level data attributes using concept hierarchies. This conversion from a lower level to higher conceptual level is useful to get a clear picture of the data. For example, age data can be in the form of 20, 30 in a dataset. It is transformed into a higher conceptual level into a categorical value like child, young, old, etc. Data generalization can be divided into two approaches: data cube process and attribute oriented induction approach. We will discuss these two approaches later in this lecture. Attribute construction. In the attribute construction method, new attributes are created from an existing set of attributes. For example, in a data set of employee information, the attributes can be employee name, employee ID, and address. These attributes can be used to construct another data set that contains information about the employees who have joined in the year of 2019 only. This method of reconstruction makes mining more efficient and helps in creating new datasets quickly. Normalization, also called data pre-processing. This is one of the crucial techniques for data transformation in data mining. The data is transformed so that it falls under a given range. When attributes are on different ranges or scales, data modeling and mining can be difficult. Normalization helps in applying data mining algorithms and extracting data faster. The popular normalization methods are min max normalization, like minimum maximum normalization, decimal scaling, z-score normalization. So these normalization techniques we will also discuss later in this course.
Let's start about techniques that are used for the data mining. The first technique which I've used for the data mining is association. It is one of the most used data mining techniques out of all the others. In this technique, a transaction and the relationship between its items are used to identify a pattern. This is the reason this technique is also referred to as a relation technique. It is used to conduct market basket analysis, which is done to find out all those products that customers buy together on a regular basis. This technique is very helpful for retailers who can use it to study the buying habits of different customers. Retailers can study sales data of the past and then look out for products that customers buy together. Then they can put those products in close proximity of each other in their retail stores to help customers save their time and to increase their sales. Second technique is clustering. This technique creates meaningful object clusters that share the same characteristics. People often confuse it with classification, but if they properly understand how both these techniques work, they would not have an issue. Unlike classification that puts object into predefined classes, clustering puts object in classes that are defined by it. Let's talk an example. A library is full of books on different topics. Now, the challenge is to organize those books in a way that readers do not have any problem in finding out books on a particular topic. We can use clustering to keep books with similarities in one shelf and then give it those shelves a meaningful name. Readers look for books on a particular topic can go straight to that shelf. They would not be required to roam the entire library to find their book. The next technique is classification. This technique finds its origin in machine learning. It classifies items or variable in a data set into predefined groups or classes. It uses linear programming, statistics, decision trees, and artificial neural network in data mining, amongst other techniques. Classification is used to develop softwares that can be modeled in a way that it becomes capable of classifying items in a data set into different classes. For instance, we can use it to classify all the candidates who attend an interview into two groups. The first group is the list of those candidates who are selected, and the second is the list that features candidates that were rejected. Data mining software can be used to perform this classification job. The next technique is prediction. This technique predicts the relationship that exists between independent and dependent variables, as well as independent variables alone. It can be used to predict future profit depending on the sales. Let's assume that profit and sales are dependent and independent variables respectively. Now, based on what the past sales data says, we can make a profit prediction on the future using a regression curve. The next technique is sequential patterns, aims to use transaction data and then identify similar trends, patterns, and events in it over a period of time. The historical sales data can be used to discover items that like buyers bought together at different times of the years. Businesses can make sense of this information by recommending customers to buy those products at times when the historical data does not suggest they would. Businesses can use lucrative deals and discounts to push through these recommendations. Market basket analysis is the modeling techniques which we already discussed in modeling. Is the technique that uses hypothesis as a basis. The hypothesis says that if you purchase certain products, then it is highly likely that you will also purchase products that do not belong to that group that you usually purchase from. Retailers can use these techniques to understand the buying habit of their customers. Retailers can use these informations to make changes in the layout of their stores and to make shopping a lot easier and less time consuming for customers. So let's we discuss about the challenges which are account for during the implementation of data mine. Like first of all, the main challenge faced by the in the data mining is skilled experts are needed to formulate the data mining queries. Due to small training database, a model may not fit future states. Like we can not predict anything for our future. Data mining needs large databases which sometimes are difficult to manage for small or medium organizations. Business practices may need to be modified to determine to use the information uncovered. Like if we have data set is not diverse, data mining result may not be accurate. If you have not a lot of data on diverse fields and attributes, then we cannot predict anything about our future. Or if we predict that, that will not be accurate. Integration information needed from heterogeneous databases and global information system could be complex. So these are some challenges which are faced during the implementation of data mining process. Let's discuss about the data mining application, where we are going to implement data mining processes. Like first of all, which sector mainly use data mining processes or data mining techniques is healthcare. Data mining has the potential to transform the healthcare system completely. It can be used to identify best practices based on data and analytics, which can help healthcare facilities to reduce costs and improve patient outcomes. Like data mining, along with machine learning, statistics, data visualization, and other techniques, can be used to make a difference. It can come in handy when forecasting patients of different categories. This will help patients to receive intensive care when and where they want it. Data mining can also help healthcare insurers to identify fraudulent activities. Secondly, the sector which are using data mining is education. Education is still in its nascent phase. It aims to develop techniques that can use data coming out of education environments for knowledge exploration. The purpose that these techniques are expected to serve includes studying how educational support impacts students, supporting this future learning needs of students, and promoting the science of learning amongst others. Educational institutions can use these techniques to not only predict how students are going to do in examinations but also make accurate decisions. With this knowledge, these institutions can focus more on their teaching pedagogy. And the next sector which are using data mining is customer relationship management. CRM involves acquiring and keeping customers, improving loyalty, and employing customers centric strategies. Every business needs customers' data to analyze it and use the findings in a way that they can build a long lasting relationship with their customers. So data mining can help them to do that. Manufacturing engineering based companies relies a lot on the data or informations available to it. Data mining can help those companies in identifying patterns in processes that are too complex for a human mind to understand. They can identify the relationships that exist between different system level designing elements, including customers' data, needs, architectures, and portfolio of products. Data mining can also prove yourselves useful in forecasting the overall time required for product development, the cost involved in the process, and the expectations companies can have from the final product. And another sector which are extensively used the data mining is the banking and financial systems and financial organizations that has been witnessing the generation of massive amounts of data from the time it underwent digitizations. Bankers can use data mining techniques to solve the banking and financial problems that businesses face by finding out correlation and trends in market costs and business information. This job is too difficult without data mining, as the volume of data that they are dealing with is too large. Managers in the banking and financial sectors can use this information to acquire, retain, and maintain our customers. Fraudulent activities cost businesses billions of dollars every year. Methods that are usually used for detecting frauds are too complex and time consuming. Data mining provides a simple alternative. Every ideal fraud detection system needs to protect user data in all circumstances. A method is supervised to collect data, and then this data is categorized into fraudulent or non-fraudulent data. This data is used in training a model that identifies every document as fraudulent or non-fraudulent. Let's discuss about the benefits of data mining. Data mining technique helps companies to get knowledge based information, helps organizations to make the profitable adjustment in operations and production. Data mining is a cost effective and efficient solution compared to other statistical data applications. Data mining also helps with the decision making process, facilitates automated prediction of trends and behaviors, as well as automated discovery of hidden patterns. It can be implemented in new systems as well as existing platforms. It is speedy process which makes it easy for the users to analyze huge amount of data in less time. There are also some of the disadvantages of data mining, like there are many chances of companies may sell useful information of their customers to other companies for money. For example, in past, American Express has sold their credit card purchases of their customers to the other companies. Many data mining analytics softwares is difficult to operate and requires advanced training, so it's also costly for small and medium organizations. Different data mining tools like work in different manners due to different algorithms employed in their designs. So selection of correct data mining tool is also a difficult task.